This is Harrow Prime, or as I like to call him in this particular loadout, Monster Hunter Hero. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Monster Hunter Hero has been a long time thing from time to time on my channel because I went through a phase where I wanted Warframe to be more like a game such as Monster Hunter or Dark Souls or somewhat, where you actually have to try to dodge and roll and whatnot. And thanks to Harrow Prime, the helmet system, and even the addition of Archon Shards, we can finally make our dream a reality. Okay, I'll go over everything in this loadout because this is what's important to make the most out of it, to get the most enjoyment, if you will. So let's start with the abilities, okay? We have Condemn, which typical hero ability, chains up enemies and gives you energy. Then we have Penance, sacrifice all of your shield to boost reload speed, which doesn't matter in the weapon, and fire rate, which again does not matter with this particular loadout. Lifesteal is fine, so it's one of those things. It really doesn't much matter. Use this, don't use it, whatever. It's entirely up to you. But this is, well, one of the important parts of this build because this loadout focuses on your companion, because your cat, Kavat creature, you need to bring them back to life every now and then. So this will automatically heal them 100% and call them to your side. So it actually comes in handy sometimes, believe it or not, especially if they're roaming about in another room. And then finally, this is your panic button ability, okay? You press it, you become invulnerable for a short period of time, and yeah, just your panic button. And now let's look at the build, okay? This is going to be the build. First, we're going to start out with the build for Harrow Prime himself. This will work on normal Harrow, by the way, just fine. In fact, I have this exact build on normal Harrow, but Harrow Prime gives a little bit of a stat boost, so we're going to go with Harrow Prime. If you want this exact loadout, it will be Harrow Prime. We have roll and guard, so you can actually roll and feel like it's being useful and stuff, which also coincidentally is also why we only have 370 health, because yeah, you can get a ridiculous amount of health, and you could get all the way basically up to around 1,000 something if you continue to play. Basically, the more you survive, the stronger you get. That's what I wanted this build to be. And that's what it sort of is. The longer you survive, the more health you get. I'm sure-footed, so you couldn't just be ragdolled into oblivion. So that's why that is here. Arcane Guardian, just because you can probably, I wouldn't recommend trading off Arcane Guardian for something else, but you could, like if you want Arcane Barrier, I suppose you could, in a nutshell, but this build isn't focused on necessarily using health or shield for survivability. There's some armor here, for armor reasons, and rolling guard, invincibility, adaptation for damage resistance. Equilibrium is really just to pick up health orbs, but it also actually helps quite a bit because of the fact that you will ideally be using your abilities, so you won't always have energy, so you'll always gain health and vice versa with that. Now, let's look at the dual cleavers, okay? The dual cleavers, as you can see, this is definitely not a maxed out build. In fact, you know what? Let's just put this here for now. Eventually, you could put this up here and then put another ability here if you want to formate again. This is a ribbon that I was lucky enough to get, but it does critical chance and critical damage. The thing about this is you want to get as closer to 100% as you can, okay? The reason why is because we're using melee duplicate, which on base health, it would be higher, but I don't have a maxed one. But what I do have is rank 1. If you get maxed out though, on base critical hits, 100% chance for your attack to strike a second time. Now, the thing is, it has base critical hit, so that's like pure 100% regular critical hit. If it's a red crit or an orange crit, it does not count. It has to be the regular yellow crit, as it were, in order for this to happen. Now, there is 2 more things that make this loadout. First of all, we have our arcane, or rather our Archon Shards here. Talford, this is the only Talford one, the rest are not Talford. We have casting speeds, so we have 3 casting speeds there. And then we also have 2 of these duration things right here, plain and simple. Now, alternatively, if you do end up making all of them Talford, then you might want to flip this around. Do 3 duration and then 2 casting speed. That might be my recommendation, but for now, there is how it works with that. And now for the final part of this loader, Kavat, okay? Now this is a Vasca Kavat. So yeah, your basic vampire Kavat. And this is what we have chosen. Pack leader actually gives your companion overguard based on melee hits, okay? Then this particular loadout literally only does melee hits. So melee hits, overguard, your Kavat is always going to have overguard with this. And you know, since it's a vampire Kavat, Vasca Kavat's bite deals 400 damage and restores 10% health to itself and transfusion. When its master is bleeding out, the Vasca Kavat sacrifices 200% of its health to 200%, 20% of its health to raise them. So that is pretty cool. And then we have Loyal Companion. When your health falls below 35%, gain 75% damage reduction for 10 seconds while your companion becomes invincible and draws fire to itself for 10 seconds. The cooldown is 1 minute. But so far, this is Sense Danger could be a 10 for anything, honestly. But this is the sort of truly loadout for Monster Hunter Hero. This will give you that feel that you want Monster Hunter meets Warframe type thing, where you actually will have to have fun surviving. You can also destroy enemies with your melee weapon and whatnot. Just have fun with it. Now, if you guys do decide to use this build, definitely feel free to let me know. If you guys use this build, let me know how long you lasted, what type of mission. He's a bit tankier than he used to be because he survives in the Steel Path. As you guys know, the Steel Path wasn't around when I originally had this idea. Well, many of you guys may know, but it is now, and he survives perfectly in the Steel Path right now. Now, like I said, it's up to you guys to do the rolling and all that to see how long you guys can last. But that's the build. Hopefully you guys enjoy this build. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.